The message arrived without warning. Every screen on Earth suddenly turned black. Phones, televisions, billboards, satellites, even military command screens, all went dark for 3 long seconds. People froze, confused and scared. Then a strange symbol appeared, a circle of stars around a glowing eye. No one on Earth had ever seen it before. But far away in space, every alien race knew that symbol very well. It belonged to the Galactic Council. A deep, cold voice echoed across every device on the planet. People of Earth, you will now join the Galactic Council. You will obey our laws. You will give us your technology, your resources, and 10 million soldiers. Refusal means destruction. Silence followed. Children cried. Adults stared in shock. Soldiers looked at their commanders, waiting for orders. Nobody knew what to say. The world leaders gathered in a hidden underground room under the Atlantic Ocean, a secret meeting place only a few people knew about. 12 leaders sat around a round metal table, screens showing the message replaying again and again. The president of Earth leaned forward. They think we are weak, he said quietly. The others nodded. For decades, Earth had kept its true strength hidden. While the galaxies believed humans were still learning space travel, Earth was secretly building something powerful. Something ancient, something no alien should ever see. But now the council was pushing too hard. A tall general spoke. We cannot fight the council directly. Their fleet is huge. They control hundreds of planets. A scientist shook her head. They do not understand what Earth really is. They think we are just a young species. A nervous advisor asked, should we tell them about Project Guardian? Everyone fell silent. Project Guardian was Earth's deepest secret. Technology found under Antarctica 50 years ago, buried inside a strange metal structure older than human civilization. The device was still not fully understood, but the energy inside it was beyond anything the council had. The president raised his hand. No, not yet. We will pretend to obey. Several leaders gasped. Pretend? The general repeated. The president smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Yes, we will make them believe we are scared. We will act weak. We will let them think they control us. His voice turned cold. And then, when they attack, we will show them what Earth truly is. Meanwhile, on the council's main ship, millions of kilometers away, alien leaders watched Earth's reaction through holographic screens. The council chamber was grand, filled with strange creatures from many worlds. Some had wings, some had scales, some had glowing skin, and some floated in the air. They all shared one belief. Humans were a minor species. Easy to control. Easy to break. A tall alien with silver skin and 4 arms spoke proudly. Earth will obey. They always fight each other. They cannot unite. A blue-skinned scientist looked worried. We should be careful. Our scans show strange energy readings from the planet. Something is hidden there. The silver leader laughed loudly. Humans are primitive. They barely have space travel. Their energy signatures mean nothing. The scientist lowered her voice. Ancient records mention Earth. Old warnings. We should not push them. But the council ignored her. They always ignored warnings. Back on Earth, the president prepared a response message. He stood in front of a camera, shoulders lowered, voice soft and shaky. We accept the council's terms. Earth will join. Around the world, citizens cried out in anger. Why are we surrendering? Why are we giving up? People felt betrayed. Many believed their leaders were cowards. But Earth's leaders knew the truth. This was a trap. When the council received the message, the chamber filled with laughter. They are so easy to break. Humans fear us. Prepare the control fleet. The silver leader raised his 4 arms. We will send ships to Earth. We will take their resources. We will take their soldiers. We will control the planet. The blue scientist whispered to herself. This is a mistake. A great mistake. In the secret base under the ocean, the president turned off the camera and allowed himself a small smile. They believe us. The general stepped closer. What now? The president looked at a large sealed door at the back of the room. Guards stood in front of it, holding rifles. The door had no handle, only a glowing symbol that pulsed slowly like a heartbeat. He spoke one word. Activate. The door slid open. Inside was a giant sphere of dark metal, floating without support, humming with deep energy. Blue light pulsed under its surface like veins. Project Guardian. Scientists watched nervously. If we turn it on fully, one said, we still don't know what will happen. The president stared at the sphere. We know one thing, the council will attack us soon. He turned to the general. When they arrive, we must be ready. The general nodded. We will be. Far above Earth, hidden satellites rotated silently. Deep beneath mountains, engines warmed up. In abandoned deserts, hidden bases powered online. Submarines moved to new positions. Soldiers trained in secret tunnels. Earth was waking up. Not weak. Not scared. Waiting. In space, massive alien warships began moving toward Earth, engines glowing green, weapons ready. The Council believed the victory would be easy. They did not know they were flying into a trap. They did not know Earth had been preparing for decades. They did not know Earth had a power older than any alien empire. They thought they controlled the situation. They were wrong. Very wrong. The alien fleet moved through space like a dark storm. Dozens of giant warships flew in perfect formation, their metal bodies glowing green with power. Smaller escort ships surrounded them, ready to block any attack. Alien soldiers marched inside the ships, confident, smiling, already imagining Earth under their control. To them, this mission was simple. Fly to Earth. Lad. Take what they want. Control the humans. They believed nothing could stop them. On the command ship, the silver-skinned leader, High Lord Varkas, stood in front of a large window. He watched the stars pass by and spoke with pride. Earth will bow. Their leaders already fear us. Their surrender was quick. Behind him, the blue scientist, Lyra, studied a glowing screen. Her face was tense, her hands shaking slightly. Our sensors are picking up strange signals from Earth. Varkas laughed. Human communication noise. Nothing more. Lyra shook her head. No. This is not communication. It is energy. Very old energy. Something is waking up. Varkas turned and stared at her with annoyance. You worry too much. Humans are weak. Their history proves it. They fight each other, they destroy their own planet, they lack unity. He leaned closer. They will crumble the moment we show force. But Lyra did not look convinced. In ancient records she had seen warnings, old texts from lost civilizations. One line kept echoing in her mind. Do not touch the sleeping world. Earth remembers. Back on Earth, deep under the ocean, the hidden base was alive with activity. Sirens flashed red lights. Engineers ran between stations. Scientists monitored screens showing rising power levels. The giant floating sphere, Project Guardian, now glowed brighter, blue light pulsing faster like a heartbeat speeding up. The general watched with concern. Is it stable? A scientist swallowed hard. We think so. The energy inside is responding to the alien fleet. The president looked up sharply. Responding? How? The scientist took a deep breath. It is aware. The room fell silent. He continued in a shaky voice. It reacts to threats. The president stared at the sphere, feeling a chill. So it knows the council is coming. The scientist nodded. It feels them. Across the planet, strange things began happening. In a desert military base, a long-buried metal structure started glowing through the sand. In a mountain bunker, dormant machines activated on their own. In the deep ocean trenches, sonar detected massive objects rising slowly from the seafloor. People around the world felt a strange vibration, like the earth itself was breathing. Some animals ran in fear. Birds changed migration patterns. Whales sang loudly in the oceans as if answering a call. Earth was waking up. Meanwhile, in the council fleet, alarms suddenly sounded. Red lights flashed. Screens displayed warning messages. The bridge officers panicked. Unknown energy surge detected. It's coming from Earth. It's spreading through space. Varkas clenched his fists. Identify it. Lyra looked horrified. I've seen this signature before, in ancient ruins. Entire civilizations disappeared after encountering this energy. Varkas slammed his hand against the console. Nonsense. Humans cannot control such power. Lyra whispered. Maybe they did not create it. Back in the secret base, the president and the general watched as the sphere began to change shape. Panels shifted, revealing inner layers covered in symbols no human could read. It looked alive. The humming sound grew louder, deeper, like distant thunder. A scientist shouted. Energy output rising beyond expected limits. The general turned to the president. Should we shut it down? The president shook his head slowly. No. If we shut it down, we lose our only advantage. The general hesitated. And if we cannot control it? The president's eyes remained on the glowing sphere. Then we hope it knows who the enemy is. In space, the alien fleet slowed. The lead ship tried to scan Earth again. But now, something blocked the scan, something powerful. It is impossible, an officer said. They are jamming us. Lyra shook her head. No. This is not jamming. This is shielding. Earth has a planet-wide defense system. Varkas growled. Impossible. But Lyra's voice grew colder. High Lord, the shield is not technology we understand. It is older. Much older. On Earth, underground monitors showed a massive energy field forming around the planet, like a giant invisible bubble. A young technician gasped. It's protecting us. The general stared in disbelief. We did not activate that. The president whispered. Then who did? In the alien fleet, fear began to spread. The soldiers who were laughing before now exchanged nervous looks. One asked, "Why is Earth glowing?" No one answered. Then something terrifying happened. A single deep sound echoed through space. Not a sound waves could carry. Not a weapon. Not a message. A pulse. Every alien felt it inside their minds like a cold whisper. A warning. Lyra grabbed the edge of her console, shaking. It is awake. Varkas shouted. What is awake? Lyra slowly turned toward him, eyes wide with fear. Earth. The president watched sensors spike higher and higher. What is it doing? He asked quietly. A scientist whispered. It is preparing. Preparing for what? The general demanded. The lights dimmed. The sphere glowed blinding blue. The scientist answered. For war. The alien fleet continued forward, unaware of the full danger. They still believed humans were weak. They still believed they were in control. They did not understand that Earth was not just a planet. It was a fortress, a sleeping giant. And now it was fully awake. The alien fleet finally reached Earth's orbit. From the dark side of the planet, their massive ships appeared like shadows blocking the stars. Civilians on the surface looked up and saw strange lights moving across the night sky. Some people screamed. Others prayed. Many recorded videos not understanding the danger. News channels around the world announced the same message. Unknown objects detected above Earth. But the governments already knew. They had been waiting. On the command ship, High Lord Varkas stood proudly, his arms crossed. Prepare landing forces. We will take control within hours. Officers rushed to obey. Alien soldiers cheered, hitting their armored chests. They believed victory was guaranteed. Most of them had never lost a battle. They thought Earth would be the same as every other weak world they conquered. No resistance. No challenge. Just surrender. Lyra, the blue scientist, stared at the view screen with fear. The planet below was glowing faint blue, as if wrapped in invisible light. She pointed at the readings. We must stop. The energy shield is active. Varkas rolled his eyes. It is a trick. Humans are pretending to have power. Lyra shook her head. No. This is not human technology. This is something else. Varkas's voice turned cold. Your fear makes you weak. He turned to the bridge crew. Launched the first wave. Hundreds of small alien attack ships detached from the fleet, flying toward Earth's atmosphere. Their engines burned green trails across the sky. On Earth, alarms blared in military bases. Enemy ships entering atmosphere. Anti-air systems powered up. Missile silos opened. Laser batteries activated. But Earth's forces did not fire. The general in the secret base gave a simple order. Hold fire. Soldiers looked confused. Sir? They are invading. The general stared at the screen watching the alien ships dive. Wait. Inside the alien dropships, soldiers laughed. This will be easy. Humans are hiding. We will take their leaders. They expected to land in cities and face no real resistance. But when the ships reached the upper atmosphere, something strange happened. Their engines flickered. Controls froze. Warning lights flashed red. What is happening? We are losing power. It's not working. The ships shook violently as an invisible force wrapped around them. One pilot screamed. The planet is rejecting us. In the council flagship, officers shouted reports. Dropships are losing control. Systems failing. Unknown interference. Varkas slammed his fist on the control panel. Who is attacking us? Lyra stared at the energy readings, horrified. It's not an attack. The shield is reacting to them. It is intelligent. Varkas growled. Shut it down. Lyra looked at him with disbelief. How? We do not even understand it. Below them the sky lit up. Alien ships began falling. Some spun wildly. Some burned. Some simply vanished, erased without sound like they had never existed. People on the ground watched in shock. Children pointed at the glowing trails. Adults stared in confusion. News reporters shouted into cameras. The ships are disappearing. In the secret base, the president watched calmly. The giant sphere, Project Guardian, was glowing bright blue, pulsing in rhythm with the falling ships. The scientist looked at the readings. It is defending us automatically. The general frowned. We still are not controlling it. The president shook his head. We don't need to. The council forced its activation. He looked at the screen. Now they will learn fear. Above Earth, panic spread through the alien fleet. We are losing the first wave. Half the drop ships gone. No explosions detected, just erasure. Varkas shouted. Send the heavy cruisers. Destroy their shield. Lyra grabbed his arm. No. We must retreat. We do not understand what we are facing. Varkas pushed her away. Coward. He turned to the tactical officer. Fire all weapons. Beams of green energy shot toward Earth. The attack was powerful enough to destroy a moon. But before the beams reached the atmosphere, they bent. The energy curved as if hitting invisible walls. Then the beams folded backward. The alien fleet watched in horror as their own attack returned toward them. Shields up. Too late. 3 alien cruisers were struck by their own weapons. No explosion. No sound. They simply vanished. Silence filled the bridge. Varkas trembled with rage. This is impossible. Lyra whispered. This is why the ancient texts warned us. Earth is protected by something older than us. Older than the Council. Older than our entire galaxy. She looked at him with terrified eyes. We woke it up. Back on Earth, the president listened as operators called out reports. Alien fleet disrupted. Enemy casualties rising. No human losses. The general allowed himself a small smile. They thought they could control us. The president answered. They never understood us. Then, something unexpected happened. The sphere in the base stopped pulsing. The lights dimmed. The humming sound faded. Scientists stared in confusion. Energy output dropping. Systems returning to normal. The president stepped closer. What is happening? The scientist checked readings. Project Guardian is no longer reacting to the fleet. The general frowned. Why? The scientist slowly turned pale. Because it senses a bigger threat. At that moment, every screen in the base switched to a new image. A massive alien battleship, far larger than anything seen before, appeared behind the fleet, emerging from a hidden portal. The council had a second wave. A true invasion force. The general whispered. That is their real power. The president stared at the enormous ship, his voice quiet but firm. Then Earth will show its true power as well. The sky above Earth turned red. The massive alien battleship aimed its superweapon directly at the planet. Energy gathered at the front of the ship, swirling like a burning star. The weapon hummed so loudly that even people on Earth felt a vibration in their bones. In cities around the world, windows shook. Animals screamed. Birds fled. Children cried as the sky glowed brighter. The news showed one terrifying headline. Alien superweapon charging. In the secret base, alarms blared. Earth shield weakening. Energy levels unstable. The general grabbed the table. If that weapon fires, the shield will break. The president stayed calm, but his eyes were sharp. How long until impact? A technician shouted. 30 seconds. Everyone froze. On the alien battleship, thousands of soldiers watched with excitement. This will break the planet. Humans will kneel. Earth will burn. High Lord Varkas smiled for the first time since the battle began. Now they will learn the power of the council. Beside him, Lyra stared at the weapon in horror. This is not war, she whispered. This is extermination. Varkas nodded proudly. Yes, that is the plan. Lyra felt sick. She had studied many species. She knew humans were violent, emotional, unpredictable. Destroying them completely might awaken something far worse. But no one listened to her. The weapon fired. A massive red beam shot toward Earth, tearing through space. It moved faster than anything humans had ever seen. The air around the beam cracked and burned. People on the ground screamed as the sky split open. The beam hit Earth's shield. For a moment, the shield held. A bright blue dome glowed around the planet. Then cracks formed. Blue lightning rippled across the surface. Technicians shouted. Shield failing. Critical damage. The beam pushed harder. The shield flickered. Scientists panicked. We cannot take another hit. The general turned to the president. We must activate everything. The president nodded. Do it. Deep in the ocean, the giant metal machine that had risen from the trench fully awakened. Its eyes glowed bright blue and massive engines powered on. Water exploded outward as it lifted into the air like a flying fortress. It was not human-made. It was ancient, built for war. It shot upward through the clouds, leaving a huge trail of steam. People around the world watched in shock as the enormous machine appeared in the sky. What is that? Is it ours? Is it alien? No one knew. The red beam pushed harder. The shield began to collapse. The giant machine opened its core. A deep, thunder-like sound echoed through the atmosphere. Then, boom. A massive pulse of blue energy shot from the machine straight into space. It collided with the red beam. The impact created a blinding flash. The air shook like an earthquake. For a moment, the entire sky turned white. On the alien battleship, alarms exploded. Unknown energy counterattack. Our weapon is destabilizing. Shut it down. But it was too late. The red beam wavered, bent, then snapped backward. The alien crew screamed as their own weapon recoiled. The energy surged into the battleship. A fiery explosion tore across the ship's front section. Thousands of aliens were vaporized instantly. The battleship shook violently. Emergency lights flashed. Varkas shouted, "Stabilize the core." Officers panicked. "We cannot control it. The energy is spreading." Lyra stared at the screen horrified. The machine, it redirected the weapon. It controlled the energy. Varkas turned to her, eyes full of rage. "How can humans control that technology?" Lyra whispered, "I don't think humans control it at all." Back on Earth, the secret base erupted in cheers. "We did it. The shield is holding." But the president did not celebrate. His eyes were fixed on the screen showing the ocean machine. "No," he said quietly. "It did it." The general looked at him. "What do you mean?" The president's voice was steady but heavy. "We didn't activate that machine. Project Guardian did." Silence filled the room. In space, the giant battleship stopped spinning. It stabilized. Smoke and debris floated around it. But it was still active. Still dangerous. And now it was angry. The crew worked frantically. Main weapon offline. Core damaged. Shields failing. Varkas roared, "Launch all fighters. Destroy that machine." Thousands of alien fighters shot toward Earth, forming a dark swarm. The sky filled with enemy ships. The giant ocean machine raised its arms. Panels opened. Dozens of glowing blue cannons emerged. It aimed at the swarm. Then, flash. Silent blue beams fired. No sound. No explosion. Every alien fighter hit simply disappeared. Gone. Erased from existence. In seconds, the entire swarm vanished. On the alien flagship, terror spread. What kind of weapon is that? It removes matter instantly. It breaks physics. Even Varkas stepped back, fear in his eyes. What have the humans awakened? Lyra answered with a shaking voice. Not a weapon. A guardian. On Earth, people watched in awe. For the first time, humans felt hope. They cheered. They cried. They realized they were not helpless. Earth was fighting back. But in the secret base, a new warning appeared. The scientist turned white. "Oh no." The president rushed to him. "What is it?" The scientist looked up slowly. "Project Guardian is not stopping." The general frowned. "What does that mean?" The scientist whispered. "It has identified all alien ships as threats. It will not stop until they are gone." The president's eyes widened. "That means?" The scientist nodded. "It will attack the Council homeworld next." The portal above Earth grew larger. At first it looked like a glowing blue ring. Then it expanded into a swirling storm of light and energy. Lightning cracked across space. The stars around it bent and twisted. Everyone watching felt the same fear. Something powerful was waking. In the secret base, alarms screamed again. Unstable dimensional activity. Energy levels rising. The scientist who discovered Project Guardian stared at the screen, shaking. "This is impossible. The machine was supposed to defend Earth only." The president grabbed his shoulder. "Tell me clearly. What is happening?" The scientist swallowed hard. "The Guardian is opening a space bridge. A direct path to the Council's territory." The general's eyes widened. "You mean, it is planning an invasion?" The scientist nodded. "Yes. It wants to destroy the Council completely." On the alien flagship, panic spread. Officers screamed as data flashed across their screens. "Unknown portal forming near Earth. It leads toward our home systems. Guardian weapon preparing for long-range attack." High Lord Varkas slammed his fist on the control table. No machine can attack the council. Shut it down. A technician shouted. We cannot. It is not connected to human systems. Lyra stood frozen. She remembered ancient stories. Old legends. Warnings carved into ruins from vanished civilizations. A whisper escaped her lips. The Sentinels? Varkas turned sharply. What did you say? Lyra looked at him with fear in her eyes. The old species spoke of giant machines. Machines created to stop empires that became too powerful. They would awaken when a planet faced extinction. Varkas snarled. Fairy tales? But deep inside he felt a growing fear. What if those stories were true? The portal stabilized. A massive shockwave rippled outward. Every satellite around Earth shook. Several exploded. Lights flickered across cities. People screamed as power failed. Airplanes dropped suddenly before emergency systems caught them. Earth felt like it was trembling. Then something even more shocking happened. Another machine stepped through the portal. Bigger than the first. Its body was black and silver, covered in glowing red lines. It had a single eye-like core that burned like a star. When it appeared, space itself seemed to bend. The first Guardian slowed and turned toward it, as if recognizing an old enemy. The secret base filled with terrified voices. There are two of them? Is it hostile? The scientist stared in disbelief. No, that one is not here to defend. It is here to judge. On the alien flagship, chaos erupted. This is a Sentinel-class destroyer. Those machines wipe out entire species. We must retreat. Varkas grabbed the nearest officer. Retreat? We are the Council. We rule the galaxy. But his voice shook. Because deep inside he knew the truth. The Council did not rule the galaxy. They only ruled the part the Sentinels allowed them to. The red-line machine raised its arm. A low sound rumbled through space. Space around the alien flagship distorted. Panels buckled. Metal cracked. Lights exploded. Varkas screamed. Shields to maximum. It's not using energy, an officer cried. It's rewriting space. The destroyer clenched its fist. The front half of the alien flagship folded inward like soft paper. Thousands of aliens died instantly. The first Guardian moved between Earth and the destroyer. Its blue core flared. It extended its arms outward, forming a massive shield. A silent message flashed across human screens. Protective priority, Terran life. The scientist gasped. It is defending us from the new machine. The general shook his head. But why would one Sentinel defend Earth while the other attacks everything? The scientist whispered. Different purpose. Different programming. In space the destroyer scanned Earth. A deep mechanical voice echoed through the void. Not spoken aloud. Not through radio. It entered every alien and human mind. Evaluation, humanity, potential threat class rising. People on Earth gasped. Many fell to their knees, holding their heads. The voice continued. If human expansion exceeds safe limits, eradication will begin. The president whispered. It is judging us. The first Guardian responded. Its voice was calmer, stronger. Humanity, under protection protocol. Status, survivor species. The destroyer answered. Protection requires control. The Guardian replied. Control requires freedom. The destroyer shook with energy. Freedom leads to war. The Guardian's core flared bright blue. War leads to evolution. In the alien flagship, Lyra suddenly understood. This was never about humans attacking the Council, she whispered. This was a test. Varkas turned to her angrily. What test? Lyra looked into his eyes. Humans survived extinction. That triggered the Sentinel. It judged them worthy of protection. She pointed at the destroyer. But now the second Sentinel will decide if they are too dangerous to exist. The destroyer charged a massive attack. Space cracked like glass. Stars bent around its core. The Guardian moved forward, shielding Earth. The scientist screamed. It cannot stop that attack. The president slammed his hand on the table. We need to help it. The general stared at him in disbelief. With what? We have nothing that strong. The president looked at the screen showing Earth. We have 8 billion people who will not surrender. The destroyer fired. A beam of pure space distortion shot toward Earth. The Guardian pushed its shield forward. The beam hit. The universe shook. Space rippled. The Guardian held for 1 second. Then cracks spread across its shield. The scientist whispered in horror. It's breaking. Silence. White light filled the skies of Earth. For a moment, Every human thought the same terrible thought. This is the end. Cities went dark. Clouds turned into glowing shapes. Mountains shook. People froze in fear, holding their loved ones, waiting for the final blast to reach them. Then the light faded. Slowly. Softly. And when vision returned, Earth was still there. Not destroyed. Not burning. Not shattered. But wrapped in something new. A massive energy barrier glowed around the planet like a shimmering bubble, blue and gold, pulsing with life. Gasps filled the secret base. What happened? Where did the shield come from? The scientist stared at the screens, eyes wide, voice shaking. This energy, it isn't from the Guardian. The general leaned forward. Then who created it? The scientist slowly turned toward the president. Earth did. Everyone went silent. On the alien flagship, panic returned stronger than before. Impossible. No planet can generate a planetary shield. High Lord Varkas shouted. Scan it. The sensors flickered, then displayed a shocking reading. Energy source located under Earth's crust. Massive reactor signatures everywhere. Lyra's eyes widened. Those are not reactors. Her voice trembled. They are alive. Varkas grabbed her arm. What do you mean, alive? Lyra whispered. Earth itself is fighting back. Deep underground, under oceans, under continents, something ancient awakened. Not machines. Not weapons. Something organic. Something that had slept for millions of years. Cells pulsed with blue bioluminescent energy. Networks of glowing roots spread like veins beneath the planet. They connected oceans, mountains, deserts. They formed one giant organism. A living network. A planetary intelligence. The scientist spoke with awe. This explains everything, the strange signals we detected for decades, the magnetic anomalies, the unexplained earthquakes. The president whispered, You're telling me Earth is alive? The scientist slowly nodded. Yes, not just as a planet, as a thinking entity. The general frowned. But why reveal itself now? The scientist looked at the screen showing the destroyer. Because Earth sensed extinction. And it chose to protect its children. In space, the massive destroyer machine paused. Its red core flickered. It scanned the new shield. Its voice echoed through minds again. Unexpected variable detected. Humanity, supported by planetary consciousness. Lyra felt her heart pound. So the legends were true. She remembered the ruins she had studied as a historian. Carvings showing planets with glowing cores. Warnings written by ancient species. Do not awaken the world mind. If you threaten its children, it will rise. The destroyer's voice grew colder. Planetary entities must be eliminated. The Guardian immediately moved between Earth and the destroyer, wounded but determined. Its blue light flickered, but it stood firm. Its voice thundered. Protection override. Earth status, primary life node. The destroyer responded. Life nodes cause galactic instability. The Guardian flared brighter. Stability is not survival. On the alien flagship, officers shouted. The destroyer is charging again. This blast will destroy the entire solar system. Varkas slammed his claws onto the console. We must stop this machine. The technician shouted back. How? We have no weapons that can harm a sentinel. Lyra suddenly stood tall, eyes burning with realization. We do. Everyone turned to her. She pointed at Earth. Humans. In the secret base, Earth's leaders watched in horror. The destroyer gathered power, red energy swirling around its core like a collapsing star. The scientist yelled. That blast will bypass the shield. The president faced the general. What do we have? Anything. The general hesitated. There is one option. But it is risky. Very risky. Say it. The general took a deep breath. We can activate the planetary defense grid. The scientist gasped. That system was never tested. It could damage Earth. The president looked at the screen showing billions of people watching the sky in terror. We don't have a choice. He turned to the general. Do it. Deep underground, old human technology began to awaken. Massive metal pillars rose from oceans. Hidden cannons emerged from mountains. Energy lines lit up across continents like glowing rivers. People looked out their windows and gasped as the ground vibrated beneath them. A little girl whispered, Earth is waking up. The destroyer released its attack. A massive red beam tore through space, warping everything in its path. The Guardian stepped forward, trying to block it. Its armor cracked. Its core dimmed. Pieces of metal shattered into space. The Guardian fell to one knee. The scientist cried out. It can't hold it. Then Earth responded. The defense grid fired. Beams of blue energy shot from the planet's surface. They merged into one massive stream that struck the destroyer's attack head-on. Space exploded in light. The two forces clashed, pushing against each other. The destroyer strained. The Guardian pushed. Earth roared. For a moment, it seemed the balance held. Then the destroyer added more power. The red beam began to push through. The blue energy struggled. The Guardian shook. The shield around Earth flickered. The scientist whispered, "We're losing." Suddenly, something unexpected happened. Every human on Earth felt a strange pull in their minds. A whisper. A request. Not words. A feeling. Help. People everywhere reacted instinctively. They stood. They shouted. They raised their hands. They screamed with all their strength. They wanted to live. They wanted to fight. 8 billion voices united. The planetary network lit up brighter. The blue energy surged. The beam pushed back. The destroyer's attack weakened. Its core flickered. For the first time, the destroyer felt something new. Pressure. Resistance. Fear. The destroyer's voice trembled. How are they doing this? The Guardian stood again. Its blue core blazed like a small sun. It answered, "They are human." The blue beam overwhelmed the red. Energy slammed into the destroyer. Its armor cracked. Its core screamed. Red light burst from its surface. The destroyer tried to retreat. Too late. A final blast struck its core, and the destroyer began to explode. Silence fell across space. Where the destroyer once floated, there was now only burning wreckage, glowing fragments drifting like dying stars. The blue light around Earth slowly dimmed, leaving only a soft shimmer across the planet's shield. On Earth, people cheered, cried, hugged, prayed. Some fell to their knees. Others shouted to the sky in victory. For the first time since the invasion began, hope filled every heart. The Guardian floated weakly above the planet, its metal body cracked and sparking. Pieces of armor drifted away. But its blue core still glowed. The scientist whispered, "It survived." The general exhaled with relief. "Earth lives." The president closed his eyes, letting the weight lift from his shoulders. "We did it." But the scientist did not smile. His hands shook as he stared at the screen. "No, we didn't." Far beyond the destroyer wreckage, a small signal pulsed through space like a heartbeat. Beep, beep, beep. It traveled faster than light. It pierced through stars, nebulae, and dark matter clouds. It reached a region of space no ship had ever entered. A graveyard of metal. Millions of giant machines slept there, bigger than moons, black as night, their red cores dim. They had been silent for millions of years. Until now. One by one. Red eyes opened. Glowing. Awakening. Back on the alien flagship, chaos exploded. Screens flickered. Alarms screamed. Technicians shouted in terror. Multiple signals detected. Massive power signatures. Lyra stared in horror. "They're waking up." High Lord Varkas slammed his fist on the console. "How many?" The technician swallowed hard. "All of them." Varkas froze. "That's impossible." Lyra shook her head. "No." The destroyer sent an activation code before it died. She looked out the window toward Earth. This was only the first machine. In the secret base, Earth's leaders watched the same readings appear. The general's face went pale. "There are more? How many?" The scientist could barely speak. "Millions? Maybe more. A whole fleet." The president gripped the table. "You're telling me that what we just fought was only one?" The scientist nodded slowly. "Yes. One scout. One test." Everyone fell silent. The general whispered, "We are not ready for this." The Guardian turned its head toward Earth. Its voice echoed through minds again, weaker but steady. "Threat level, extreme. Galactic Sentinel Fleet awakening." The president spoke aloud. "Guardian, can you stop them?" The Guardian hesitated. Its blue light pulsed slowly, like a dying heartbeat. "Negative. Current damage, critical. Energy, low." The general clenched his fists. "So we're doomed?" The Guardian replied, "Not yet." The ground rumbled. Lights flickered. The planetary network glowed again, brighter than before. The scientist stared at the readings. "Earth is gathering energy. Much more than before." The president stepped closer. "Why?" The scientist looked up, voice trembling. "Earth is preparing." "Preparing for what?" The scientist whispered. "War." Deep beneath the planet, the living network expanded. Glowing roots spread farther into the crust, connecting ancient structures that humans never knew existed. Old technology hummed. Massive engines awakened in the core. Ancient symbols lit up on buried walls. Earth itself was changing. Becoming stronger. Becoming something new. In space, the Guardian drifted closer to the planet, slowly merging with the shield. Its body dissolved into energy, becoming part of Earth's defense. Its final message echoed. Protect them. They are our last hope. Then the Guardian vanished. Humans watched in silence, realizing the truth. The Guardian had sacrificed itself. On the alien flagship, officers panicked. We must flee. We must warn the galaxy. Varkas stood still, staring at the map showing the awakening fleet. No one will believe us. They will think we failed. Lyra turned to him. We did fail. She looked toward Earth. But humanity did not. Suddenly, a new signal appeared on every screen across the galaxy. Come, cold, human. A simple message from Earth. To all species, we did not start this war. But we will finish it. Across alien worlds, people froze. Leaders whispered. Armies trembled. No one had ever heard humanity speak with such power. The message continued. Earth will not kneel. Earth will not run. If you stand with us, we will protect you. If you stand against us, pause. Screens flickered. The final line appeared. You will vanish. Without a sound. Lyra felt chills. Humans, they are becoming something more. Varkas whispered. They already are. Far away in the dark region of space, the newly awakened machines began to move. Slow. Heavy. Massive. Like a storm of metal. Millions of red lights formed a wave. Headed toward the galaxy. Headed toward Earth. Earth's shield brightened. The oceans glowed. The ground vibrated. 8 billion humans looked up at the sky, not with fear, but with determination. They were ready. The scientist whispered. This is only the beginning.